Hi there. In 2001, the graduate salary premium over and above the minimum wage was about 115%. Last year, it had fallen to below 30%. So that begs the question, what's the point of a degree? And for today's young people, is it worth going? So first of all, let's step back a bit and get a little bit of historical context about what exactly went wrong. In 1970, just 8.5%, that's 1 in 12, A-level students went on to university. Very much an academic elite, and they could expect to get very high-paying jobs and do very well, thank you very much. Successive governments then looked at this and thought, aha, graduates earn more, they contribute more to the economy, that means more taxes, more growth, more social mobility, tick, 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 all great, let's have more graduates. Unfortunately, this is a rather simplistic analysis of what was going on, because they forgot the other half of the equation, which was to create the graduate jobs. So now we have a situation where recent graduates are applying hundreds of times for different jobs before they even get one interview, and there's a fair chance the job they end up getting doesn't require a degree at all. So they'll have gone through 3 years of education, run up possibly tens of thousands of pounds in debt, quite possibly had to call upon parents for them to spend tens of thousands of pounds to get a job that didn't need a degree in the first place. So, if we consider, as a thought experiment, 2 people today who are leaving college with A-levels, identical socio-economic backgrounds, identical results, one goes to university, one stays home and gets a job. Over the next 3 years, the student works hard, they ring up debts of at least 30,000, their parents have to dig into their savings in order to support their child, and at the end of it they come out with a degree. Let's assume it's a very good one. During that period, the person who didn't go to university got a job, started immediately accruing skills, because of probably living at home, also was able to save towards a deposit on a flat, or even towards a deposit on a mortgage. May have got promoted once or twice, or moved to a different job, acquired even more skills. And then the graduate and that person who stayed at home both apply for the same job. Who do you think gets it? I will assume for a second it's not a job that requires a degree like a nuclear engineer or anything. Well, I can tell you that, speaking as someone from business over 30 years, who has run multiple companies and who regularly hires people, I haven't put the requirement for a degree on a job advert for 15 years. What I would look for is someone who can show that they work hard, has got skills, has some experience, has the right attitude, and hopefully has been through some hard times and had to put out some fires, because people like that are worth their weight in gold. That's not to say the graduate doesn't have the same qualities, but there is no evidence of them. So, is going to university worth it? If you want to do something that requires a degree, absolutely. If you want to be a doctor, a vet, a nuclear engineer, if it requires a degree and that's what you want to do, then go for it. If you don't know what you want to do, or your chosen career doesn't require a degree, or the qualifications it does require can be picked up later on the job, then stop and think. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a degree, but is it the right thing for you? How are you going to finance your way through university? Do you really want to come out with debts? Do you really want to put pressure on your parents? Consider then, if you get a job and you have got that debt from your student loan, once you pass the threshold, that's several £100s a month going out to pay it back. And over the course of your career, that £30,000 debt turns into £60,000 or £70,000 of repayments. How are you going to be able to afford a mortgage, particularly in the kinds of housing market we have now, where we already know how difficult it is to get on? So think very carefully. And you don't have to make the decision now. Many universities allow you to defer. So my advice, if you're not sure, is secure a place and then defer, and then work for a year. Don't go gallivanting off finding yourself in Asia. Work for a year. Acquire skills, see what the workplace is like for a young person, see what the opportunities are, and then after a year decide, actually, it works for me. I like having money in the bank. I can see a career path that I don't need a degree for, and I definitely am going to go for it. Or you might decide, do you know what, this kind of job is not for me. I now know what I want to do. I know the kind of academics I want to study, and I'm going to go to university. And you're armed with more information. So for what it's worth, a degree might be worth it, but it's not definitely worth it. And stop and think before you jump into a decision that may be irreversible. If you want to hear other voices on this, there's an excellent documentary from the BBC entitled Is University Really Worth It? And it's presented by a very good comedian called Jeff Norcott. And you can find it on YouTube, and I'll include the link in the description and in a pinned comment. Let me know what you think. Are you about to go to university? Is your child about to go to university? Have you recently come out of university? What's it been like finding a job? I'd like to hear from you. Cheers for now.